A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I want A+ English. That's so much fun. English education for you and everyone, so come along. Learn some grammar, learn a phrase, learn something new every day. Learn the A+ way. Hey, it's time to start the show. Are you ready? Good, 'cause here we go. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I want A+ English.
Hello and welcome to A+ English. I'm Seb.
And I'm Elsie.
And today we're talking about a story. A very famous story, actually.
What is this one?
This story is called Jack and the Beanstalk. Jack and the Beanstalk, not Jack in the Beanstalk.
Jack and the Beanstalk 就是杰克与豌豆这个知名的故事。
It's a very famous story. But before we start, we need to look at our warm-up question. Do you listen to your parents? Why or why not? Elsie, do you listen to your parents?
I do listen to my parents now.
Okay.
And I try my best too, but I don't think I listened to them before. Like when I was younger, when I was maybe in college or in high school.
I used to be the same. When I was a teenager, I used to never listen to my parents.
Oh, okay.
No, I hated doing what my parents told me to do. But now I ask them for advice all the time.
Right?
I think when you live away from your parents, you start to want their help more.
The distance will make you guys maybe closer?
Yes, bring you together. So, what does this question have to do with today's story? Well, it begins with a boy called Jack not listening to his mother. We won't say any more. Let's look at day 1 of our story article.
Jack and the Beanstalk. Warm-up question. Do you listen to your parents? Why or why not?
Jack and his mother live in the country. They are poor, and one day, their cow stops giving milk. Jack's mother tells him to sell the cow at the market. On his way there, Jack meets an old man. The old man offers to trade 5 magic beans for Jack's cow. He says,
"Plant the beans tonight. By morning they will grow to the sky."
Jack agrees to this plan. When Jack's mother learns about this, she is very angry.
You fool!
She says. She throws the beans out the window and sends Jack to bed without dinner. The next day, there's a big surprise outside. A giant beanstalk grew overnight.
Word power. Trade. Trade. I traded Lisette my apple for her orange at lunch. I traded Lisette my apple for her orange at lunch. Plant. Plant. The city wants to plant more trees. They help clean the air. The city wants to plant more trees. They help clean the air. Surprise. Surprise. Our math teacher gave us a surprise today. A quiz. No one studied for it. Our math teacher gave us a surprise today. A quiz. No one studied for it. Giant. Giant. Look at that giant dog. It's nearly as big as a horse. Look at that giant dog. It's nearly as big as a horse.
认识字汇
Beanstalk. Beanstalk. Overnight. Overnight.
Okay, Today we are going to talk about a fairy tale. That's 2 words, F-A-I-R-Y-T-A-L-E. A fairy tale is an old story for children with fairies, monsters, giants, and witches. One of my favorite fairy tales was Hansel and Gretel. Do you know that one, Elsie?
糖果屋.
Ah,
In Chinese,
okay.
we call it the candy house.
The candy house, of course, because they find a candy house in the woods, and there's an evil witch in the house that is trying to eat them. We won't say any more about that story, but today we are looking at a different one. I think Jack and the Beanstalk might have been a song originally. I'm not sure because it's a very, very old story. It's 5,000 years old. So if it was a song, we could also say that maybe it was a nursery rhyme.
Nursery rhyme.
N-U-R-S-E-R-Y. R-H-Y-M-E. Nursery rhyme. A nursery rhyme is kind of like a fairy tale, but it's told as a sort of song. So Humpty Dumpty, for example, is a good example of a nursery rhyme.
Right. Humpty Dumpty sat on the wall. Humpty Dumpty
had a great fall. Okay, and I think
we have to stop right
We have to stop there. We have to stop there. How do we start a fairy tale anyway?
Fairy tale 就是童话故事，所以童话故事的开头都会是很久很久以前。那英文会是 Once upon a time or a long time ago.
Or once upon a time in a land far, far away. That's the slightly longer version. So we could start our story like that. But that's not what we see in the magazine. Our story starts like this. Jack and his mother live in the country. So the country here is the place outside of the city. We're not talking about a country like Taiwan or the UK. We're talking about a place with lots of trees, fields, not many houses. So they live in a very far away place.
故事一开始呢，告诉我们杰克和他的妈妈住在乡下。那我们这边看到的 in the country 指的是在乡下里头。
They are poor. And one day, their cow stops giving milk. Is their cow giving them milk? What does it mean by giving milk?
You can get milk from the cow.
Ah, when you milk the cow.
Right.
Ah, okay.
那他们的生活呢，贫困。而且有一天，他们的乳牛停止生产牛奶了。那我们这边看到停止这个动词呢是 stop， 后面加上 V-I-N-G， 代表是停下本来就在进行的事情，像是 stop laughing， 不要再笑了 ，stop talking， 不要再说话了 ，stop looking at me， 不要再看着我了。
So they've stopped getting milk from the cow, and that's bad news. They can't sell the milk, they can't drink the milk. So Jack's mother tells him to sell the cow at the market. A cow could be worth lots of money, couldn't it?
所以杰克的妈妈呢，就要他将乳牛带到市场卖掉。杰克的妈妈告诉他要做这件事情 ，tell somebody to do something 就是叫人去做某事的意思。那 tell 加上人，再加上不定词，同样的用法呢，还有 want somebody to do something，ask somebody to do something。那我们先进到 Magic Box 听讲师讲解咯。
Magic Box。
哎呀，大家呢看我脸上这个痣哦，像炭一样黑，所以呢我就叫炭治郎。好多人哦跟我说这个痣呢应该可以处理一下。They told me to remove this mole， 他们呢叫我把这个痣去除掉了。但是啊，这样呢就没有我的特色了。身体发肤受之父母，哇，炭治郎一定会好好爱护，成为一个好人的啊。动词后面呢，我们都知道需要加受词哦。这个受词呢，大部分时候是名词。比方说呢，我们刚刚说 remove this mole， 把这个痣给移除。remove 动词后面呢，我们就加上 this mole 这个名词来当做受词。但很多时候呢，我们动词后面会用另一个动词来当受词哦。比方说呢，你喜欢是动词，骑脚踏车的骑也是动词，或是呢想要买新玩具，想要是动词，买也是动词。我们知道呢，句子里面不能够有两个动词，所以这时候呢就需要用 to 来引导另一个动词。 或是呢要把它变成 VING 动名词的形式了。今天呢，我们就要先来看动词后面用 to 再加上原形动词的用法吧。首先我们要先了解 to 代表的意涵了。to 这个不定词呢，通常用来表达意图、表达目的。所以通常呢，它是还没有发生的事情。那了解了这个意思之后呢，我们就可以猜到后面会加上 to 的动词，大概就是像是这种想要去做什么事情啦，希望谁去做什么事情啦，这样子意思的动词了。比方说呢，最常用到的 want，I want to eat ice cream。我想要吃冰淇淋，还没有吃，要去吃，所以呢 want 后面呢就加上 to 加上原形动词 ，OK to 就是这样的含义了。那除了 want 之外呢，像是 hope、wish，OK 希望这个动词也是一样的用法。I hope to see you soon， 希望很快可以见到你，这个呢也是一样的用法。另外啊，像是 tell 告诉。ask 要求，这些动词呢也都是一样的用法了。He asked me to go with him， 鬼就要逃跑了，我的朋友啊一直住就叫我跟上他，要求我跟他一起去哦。Ask me to do something， ask someone to do something。那我们开头的例句呢 ？They told me to remove this mole。他们叫我告诉我去把痣给移除，跟 ask 是一样的句型了。其他呢还有像是 am 意图 plan 计划 refuse 拒绝这些动词呢，后面也都是加上 to 再加上原形动词咯。希望呢你也可以记起来咯。
Okay, so Jack is off to the market. He's going to sell the cow. But on his way there, Jack meets an old man.
在去市场的路上呢，杰克遇到了一位老人。This old man might be important.
Yes, there seems to be something special about this old man. The old man offers to trade 5 magic beans for Jack's cow.
Offer to do something 代表的是主动提议要去做某事，像是我们可以说 I offered to help him, but he refused，代表我主动提议要帮助他，但是他拒绝了。那再来呢，我们会看到今天第一个 word power word trade， 我们来看看它是什么意思吧。Trade 这个动词呢，代表交换。To trade A for B 代表用 A 去交换 B。For example, can I trade these comic books for some of your video games? 我可以用这些漫画书跟你交换一些电玩吗？那课文例句课文里头呢，我们说的是 trade 5 magic beans for Jack's cow， 用5颗魔豆来换杰克的乳牛。那这边呢，课文例句给的是 I traded Lisette my apple for her orange at lunch。午餐的时候，我拿我的苹果和 Lisette 交换她的柳橙。回到课文呢，我们说到老人提议要用5颗魔豆换杰克的乳牛 ，and he said something too.
He did. He gives him some advice. He says, plant the beans tonight.
Plant the beans tonight?
Plant is a noun, isn't it?
But here it's used as a verb.
Okay.
So we have to find out what it means now. Plant 在这边当作动词用哦，代表种植的动作。You can plant trees， 你可以种植树啦。You can plant flowers， 你也可以种植花朵。You can plant vegetables， 你也可以种植蔬菜等等之类的农作物。For example, he planted different kinds of flowers in the garden。他在花园里面种植不同种类的花朵。那 plant 本身也可以当作名词，代表植物。For example, don't forget to water the plants， 不要忘记浇花。Or they'll die very soon， 不然它们很快就会死掉。那课文例句给的是呢 The city wants to plant more trees, they help clean the air。市政府想要种植更多的树，它们可以帮助净化空气。回到课文来呢，我们的这个老人说，今天晚上种下这些魔豆 ，plant these beans tonight。
And what will happen if he plants the beans tonight? Well, the man says, by morning they will grow to the sky. Okay,
Really?
so we saw the phrase here, by morning. When we say by, we mean at the time that happens. Before that happens, something else will happen. So over the night, they will grow very tall, and when you wake up in the morning, you will have a beanstalk that grows to the sky.
Right. 所以呢，这边用到了 by 这个介系词，它代表的是到了点点点的时候。所以老人说，到了明天早上的时候，它们就会长到天空里面去。Okay, so it sounds like the old man is trying to trick Jack?
Yes, it does. It does. Because, wait, like, if you give someone some beans...
Right.
Are you really going to have
一
a
夕之间
beanstalk
这样
that goes, that goes all the way up into the sky?
Impossible.
Yeah, no, it does sound like he's trying to trick him. When we trick someone, we get them to believe something that isn't true, or we get them to do something bad. I remember when I was in elementary school, my classmate tricked me. They told me it would be funny to tut at the teacher. So tutting is basically this. And in the UK, it's actually very rude because it means you think someone is doing something stupid. But I was very small, so I thought that it was something funny to do.
Yeah.
So I went to the teacher when she was telling me about my homework, and I tutted at her. I went... and she got
what happened?
very angry and she put me in detention
留校
for
察
being
看。
rude. Yeah. So I was tricked by my classmate.
Poor you.
Have you ever been tricked by someone?
You know I'm smart. Never. 没有过。
Much smarter than me. Much smarter than me. Okay, so carrying on with our story, Jack agrees to this plan.
OK， 杰克他就同意了这个计划。那这边我们看到是 plan 名词计划，如果字尾加上 t， 就会变成刚刚的 plant 种植。
Okay, so when Jack's mother learns about this, she is very angry. I would be too if I gave you all my money and you spent it somewhere else on something that I didn't want.
5
beans? 5 beans? I don't know what that's worth in NT dollars, but it's not a lot of money, is it?
所以杰克妈妈知道之后呢，她非常生气。我给你1头乳牛，你换来5颗魔豆，这样对吗？
You fool, she says.
She's
Fool,
angry.
yeah, she is very angry because fool, that's a noun, is someone stupid, someone not very clever. So fool is a kind of insult. We use it when we are angry and we want to shout at someone. 我们要骂他们. So it's it's quite a rude thing to say. It's not a swear word, but it's still not nice to say that someone is a fool. Here's an example sentence. James felt like a fool when he got lost in his hometown. Okay, he felt stupid or he felt silly because he got lost in his hometown. So I can understand why Jack's mum is angry. Elsie, imagine giving your husband all your money and telling him to buy a house, and then he comes back with a carton of milk.
给他所有的钱叫他买房子，他回来只有带1瓶牛奶。I would say,
Would you call him a fool?
You fool! 你这个傻子！就跟这个杰克妈妈一样，狠狠地骂他一顿。
Yeah, very scary. You don't want to get Elsie angry. Anyway, Jack's mum is also very scary. She throws the beans out the window and sends Jack to bed without dinner.
Okay,
so she throws the beans out the window. When we use a direction word like out, on, up, or through with the verb throw, it tells us which way we are throwing that thing. So for example, the boy threw the ball up in the air. The ball traveled up. Or for example, the man threw the brick through the window. In that case, he broke the window because it went through the glass. So here we can use these direction words. Instead of saying where something is, we're giving a moving verb some direction. So we can also use it with other moving verbs too. For example, the man ran up the stairs, or the ball rolled down the hill.
所以我们可以用一些像是 up, down, in or out，或是刚刚的 through 来表示那个方向。好，那这边呢，我们还看到呢 ，send somebody to bed 是叫某人去睡觉，可是 Jack's mom sends Jack to bed without dinner， 也就是没有给他吃晚餐就要他去睡，可能是一种惩罚 ，maybe it's the punishment.
It sounds like a punishment. I would hate to go to bed without dinner. I love dinner. Anyway, Jack has a bad night, but the next day there's a big surprise outside.
Surprise!
I wonder what that surprise could be. I wonder what a surprise is, actually.
Let's find it out. Surprise 在这边当名词用哦，代表不寻常的事情或是意外的事情。For example, please don't tell Laura that I want to throw a birthday party for her. 不要告诉 Laura 我要帮她办生日派对。I want it to be a surprise. 我想要这件事情是个惊喜，也就是 I want to surprise her. 那这边的 surprise 就是个动词，代表使某人惊喜、惊讶。那另外呢，如果你要说感到惊喜或是某件事情令你惊喜或惊讶，你可以用形容词 surprised 跟 surprising 来表示。For example, I was surprised at what she said. 我对她说的话感到惊讶。也就是呢 what she said was surprising to me. 她说的话令我惊讶。那课文例句给的是呢 Our math teacher gave us a surprise today. A quiz. No one studied for it. 我们数学老师今天做了件让我们意想不到的事情，那就是举办了一场随堂测验，大家都没有读书。课文说到，隔天外面有一个大惊喜。What is this big surprise?
Can you guess? Take a guess.
There is a big thing outside the window.
There is a big thing. A giant beanstalk grew overnight.
Okay, giant? What does this word mean?
It means... I don't know. I think we need to go to our word power
我们
and
去
find
看一
out.
下。OK。Giant 这个形容词呢，代表巨大的。那表示大的，我们可以说 big、large、huge。那如果这个大的程度再多一些，我们可以用 giant 这个字，好，或者是 enormous、gigantic 都可以。For example, a giant windmill stands next to the cottage on the cornfield. 巨大的风车在玉米田的小屋旁边。那另外呢 ，giant 也可以当作名词用，代表巨人。For example, Mom just read a story about a kind giant to her kid. 妈妈刚刚读了关于一个善良巨人的故事给她的小孩听。那课文例句给的是呢 ，Look at that giant dog. It's nearly as big as a horse. 看看那一只巨大的狗，它几乎跟马一样大了。课文里面呢还提到了 beanstalk 这个字，它指的就是豆茎，也就是魔豆长出来的豆茎。那还有一个副词呢是 overnight， 代表一夜之间、一夕之间。所以课文说到的是没想到一夜之间竟然长出了一个巨大的豆茎。Magic.
Magic. Well, there's lots more magic in this story, but it's all the time we have for today. So first, let's go to our review time, and we'll join you tomorrow with more of Jack and the Beanstalk.
Review time.
Okay, it's review time, and Elsie, I've got a surprise for you.
你要给我一个惊喜，什么惊喜啊？
Pictionary!
Oh, Pictionary.
Your favorite game.
I hate to draw.
I'll draw then.
Okay, sure.
And you can guess the word
好，
from
我猜。
today's word power, sorry. Okay,
好。
so we won't do surprise because we already know what this is. Okay, I'm going to draw
A circle, 一个圆圈。
I think this
Okay,
is
Seb,
an easy
I know what you're
one.
drawing now. You are drawing a flower,
Yes,
but we don't have the word flower today.
we don't.
There's an arrow,
Yes,
head. Okay. And there's a hand.
yes.
Oh, okay, Seb. I know the answer.
Do you need a clue? You know the answer. Okay.
Okay, maybe
What
you
is
can
it?
give me the clue
It's
first.
a doing thing.
所以
It's
是
a
个
flower, but it's a doing thing with
是
the
个
flower.
动词，所以你可以对花做什么事？浇花、种花、看花、采花、
You got it. It was the first one.
种花
Yeah.
plant.
Plant.
So
You
the
plant a
person in your
flower.
picture is planting the flower.
Yes. Look at my great picture. I was an art major. Did
You're
you know
a
that?
genius.
Yes.
I know.
Okay. Okay. Do you want to do one now?
Okay.
Okay. plant. I love to plant plants actually at home. I have so many of them.
Really?
All over my apartment. Yes, it's like a jungle.
Like
okay,
a jungle?
I'm ready for my Pictionary question. Let's see. I wonder if the kids can get this one. Are they two balloons? I don't think
they're
balloon.
Actually, two people.
Two people? Okay. One has a normal sized head, or quite a big head actually, and the other one has a really big head. We could say it has a giant head, right?
You've got it.
Giant, the adjective.
Giant.
Okay.
See?
Okay, that's an excellent representation of a giant.
Okay.
Do we think this is what the... I can't say anymore. I was going to spoil the next part of Jack and the Beanstalk.
Oh.
You'll have to join us tomorrow to find out what that is. So we'll see you then. I'm Seb.
I'm Elsie.
And we'll see you tomorrow.
See you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Jack and the Beanstalk. Warm-up question. Do you listen to your parents? Why or why not?
Jack and his mother live in the country. They are poor, and one day, their cow stops giving milk. Jack's mother tells him to sell the cow at the market. On his way there, Jack meets an old man. The old man offers to trade 5 magic beans for Jack's cow. He says,
Plant the beans tonight. By morning they will grow to the sky.
Jack agrees to this plan. When Jack's mother learns about this, she is very angry.
You fool!
She says. She throws the beans out the window and sends Jack to bed without dinner. The next day, there's a big surprise outside. A giant beanstalk grew overnight.
Word power!
Trade. Trade. I traded Lisette my apple for her orange at lunch. I traded Lisette my apple for her orange at lunch. Plant. Plant. The city wants to plant more trees. They help clean the air. The city wants to plant more trees. They help clean the air. Surprise. Surprise. Our math teacher gave us a surprise today. A quiz. No one studied for it. Our math teacher gave us a surprise today. A quiz. No one studied for it. Giant. Giant. Look at that giant dog. It's nearly as big as a horse. Look at that giant dog. It's nearly as big as a horse.
认识字汇
Beanstalk. Beanstalk. Overnight. Overnight.